Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Citizens voiced their opinion on President Carmona's speech at ceremonial opening of Parliament. New engineering training facility coming soon. And Tobago's top SEA students get grants from Tobago Development Ministry. Thank you for joining us to our top story. President Anthony Carmona's address at last Friday's ceremonial opening of Parliament was not only welcomed and appreciated by government members and political leaders, but also among persons in the public domain. News 4 took to the streets to get the views and opinions of the people who described his message as a positive game changer.
The President's address was a timely reminder of the constitutional position and role of the Parliament in relation to the other arms of our state and particularly the executive. We took our camera crew in the city and spoke to several persons. We asked what they thought about his speech and, in addition, what they liked or disliked about it. However, the masses said that they were pleased and appreciated the messages coming from the President.
First to begin, the first time I really hear a President really lecture in a way that everybody could understand what he mean, and for the youths to understand, well, something serious is going to happen, because, you know, when you as an adult look at Panama and see what kind of behavior are some of the people who are supposed to be leading us, I think it was a good speech that he made in Parliament.
But from the excerpts that I heard from his speech, I believe as the President, I think he truly represented what the President should symbolize, what he should symbolize, and the message that he gave to the parliamentarians, I think is something that should have been mentioned in the way it was mentioned. It was long overdue. I hope that the parliamentarians take heed, because recent events in the elections, the by-elections, show a change in the trend in people's attitude and the maturity of people. So I hope that all those concerns take heed.
And there were those who were not aware.
I didn't there wrong answer.
He wasn't there?
No.
Even this youth, Tyler Piloy, had a contribution. Though it was not about the President's speech, he sought the opportunity to make a suggestion to parliamentarians.
I think that there needs to be a level of understanding between both parties, and that to me, I think they are taking things a little bit overboard, and that they need to sit down and understand that we're doing it for the people and not for the disliking of each other, to make people against each other. But I think they need to sit down and understand each other in order for we to move on in life.
And we even caught up with this Jamaican national, O'Neill Foote, who was eager to make a contribution. He, like many others we spoke to, applauded President Anthony Carmona's effort.
Well, I think he's an honest man, based on the work that he's done and what he's doing. And if people just believe in him and just follow him, I think Trinidad will be a better country.
And there were those who admitted that they did not hear what was said in Parliament, but still offered to share with us some salient views on whatever little they knew.
No, I didn't really listen to it, because I find the politicians have too much back on her.
What do you think?
I know he talked about revising campaign funds. Oh, it was about that, because I heard her speaking about it on the news. Yeah, I find it's a good thing, because they waste too much money. And things that they could do for the people with that same money, they're wasting it just to get points, to score political points. It doesn't make any sense.
President Anthony Carmona, as head of the Parliament, was most deliberate and insightful in bringing to the attention of all parliamentarians his observations of the shortcomings in the practice, the Parliament itself, and of those who conduct the nation's business in both of its houses. Many were of the view that Carmona's speech was another game changer in the sequence of events which have taken place in previous weeks, which have caused shifts in the political landscape. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
In other news, Cabinet has approved the construction of a multi-million-dollar training facility in central Trinidad. The latest initiative adds to the list of education and skills training developments across the country. A state-of-the-art training facility will be constructed at the former Caroni 1975 Limited Transport and Field Engineering Department at Woodford Lodge in Chaguanas. Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Senator the Honorable Fazal Karim, said Cabinet had taken a decision to invest $67.3 million into the project, which will be a response to many of the current needs of the workforce.
This training facility at Woodford Lodge will be the home of the National Energy Skills Center, the NESC. It will also be shared with the Metal Industries Company Limited and the Youth Training Employment Partnership Program Limited. It will have a capacity for approximately 1,000 students when it is fully operational. And we expect with the first phase, which is now being started by the NESC, the National Energy Skills Center, that we will be constructing as well dormitories for approximately 14 or 15 persons. It may be small, but it is going to be significant in the context that this state-of-the-art facility, we intend to have it as a regional center of excellence for training in the vocational area. One of the first things that we are embarking upon, and we expect that will be concluded by the 31st of December of this year, is a state-of-the-art automotive technology center. This will be done in partnership with the Automotive Dealers Association, and I wish to recognize the significant contributions of Neelan Massey, Southern Sales, and Samakal and Toyota. In addition to that, on this very compound, we'll be hosting and holding and constructing a Caterpillar heavy equipment facility. And this will be done in collaboration with TrackMac for heavy equipment training over a 2-year period. Subsequent to that, we are going to embark on programs such as Construction Equipment Operator Training Program over shorter periods like 3 months. And this will involve training in the use of forklifts, backhoes, excavators, and D4 tractors.
The training facility will form part of what Minister Karim calls a central education city of the country, which will comprise the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training headquarters, UWI's Open Campus, COSTA's main campus, and other key institutions. The Honourable Minister stressed that the investment into the training facility and the education city is an investment for the entire country. When we come back, Tobago's top SEA students. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Ministry of Tobago Development honored its promise to the top 20 Tobago secondary entrance assessment students by giving them $500 worth of units with the aim of jump-starting the students' future and celebrating their achievements. Speaking to the youths and the parents, present Minister of Tobago Development, Dr. Delman Baker, called on fathers to play a more active role in the lives of their children.
Fathers must play a more crucial role in the lives of their children, especially their boys. This from Minister Baker during his conversation to the top 20 students, whilst addressing his view on having only 2 boys amongst the 20 SEA passes. He says boys are not achieving as much as girls, and there needs to be a balance.
There should be just as many females here as there are males. And the same goes for parents. There should be just as many fathers as there are mothers in the room. But there is a very interesting absence of the male figure in the lives of our young people. Too much. And that's something that we have to address very shortly if we are to keep our society in balance.
However, he said the national watchwords, discipline, production, and tolerance, was already reflective in their top SEA ranking and urged them not only to apply the watchwords to schoolwork, but to everything they undertake in life. Minister Baker challenged the educators to put more emphasis on the dialogue on education and in the curriculum of the following areas.
1, we must seek at providing more positive male role models. We must seek, too, at motivating and promoting higher levels of achievement among young males. 3, greater identification and demonstration of positive male role models, more male teachers in the primary school system and in the secondary school system. We must, and 4 is critical, we must allow an environment that gives greater involvement of fathers and the promotion of positive family lifestyles and the values to our young men. We must do it.
Amongst other encouraging words towards the students, Minister Baker charged the parents in preparing these 20 youngsters for their new environment.
Parents, take note. So too will the demands on you as a parent be new and increased. Not because they are now 11 to 17, 11 to 15. You know, they grow up and they go to secondary school. That you can suddenly divorce yourself of the responsibilities that took them through the process called the SEA examinations. In fact, I wish to charge you that you must now double your efforts. As they are facing new challenges, and some of them are written in texts, black and white, or in the iPads. Others come to them in the form of conversations that they will have with new villages, new friends, and some of those conversations you have not even had with your children as yet. And those conversations will be permeated with the changes that are occurring in their bodies and in their minds. And I hope, as responsible parents, you begin to set a platform that will mitigate against the negative conversations and images that your children will be party to as they enter into the new environment. A word to the wise is sufficient.
Reporting from Tobago, I am Natoya Johnson for News 4.
Meanwhile, News 4 spoke to the teachers and students at the SEA gathering who talked about their preparations for the exams. There was also advice for those who will sit the examination next year.
Leslyn Fraser Celestine, teacher of the Bell Garden Primary School and also parent of one student who recently did the SEA exam, said preparation was stressful, but it was also a joy as she said the kids were self-motivated and willing to learn. She offered advice to those who are preparing to face the examination next year.
You have to balance it. So you must have a balance, academics as well as some leisure time, activity, and just always do your best. Whatever your best may be, you do your best all the time.
David Smith, principal of the Scarborough SDA Primary School, explained that there is a lack of parental involvement shown in children this time around, which he said was a challenge he faced with the SEA students at that school.
We didn't get the level of involvement that we ought to get. All right, it could have been a little better. All right, as compared to the years gone by when we had a lot of involvement. So that's one of the challenges, getting the parents involved.
Luke Trim, one of the two boys in the top 20, said in preparation for SEA exams, he would have missed out on some nights of sleep just to get work done, and he would have worked until he believed he had perfected the subject area. His friend Anthony Archer made similar preparations.
But when I went home, I always used to, my mom used to help me study. Most time, like things that I didn't understand, mom used to carry me in a corner and help me do it.
Anthony Archer's dream is to become a neurosurgeon, while Luke wants to become a pathologist. The number one student, Emily Bowler, said she had a balance between studying and extracurricular activities.
I studied hard, but not all of my time was studying. I take a little time off and maybe sometimes watch a little TV, play some games or something.
She had some advice for next year's exam students.
I would tell them don't be afraid, just do their best in everything that they do and pray.
Zakia Celestine shared a little on her preparations and about having her mother as her teacher.
Preparing for SEA, I'd have study continuously. On mornings we'd have classes, we'd have to reach school 7:30 for classes. Then we'd have to stay back late and we'd leave like time 5:45. And then when we go home, we have to like study a lot and stuff.
And Naya Nancy said she feels great to be among the top 20 SCA students, as for her it is a significant achievement. She said her aim is to become a pediatrician. The students were honored by the Minister of Tobago Development, the Honorable Dr. Delman Baker, at a function held at his office recently. Reporting from Tobago, I am Patricia Nicholson for News 4.
When we come back, our sport report. Stay with us. Trinidad and Tobago national swimmer George Bothwell III again showed his resilience and consistency as a world leader in his sport when he captured a bronze medal at the Finalong Course World Championships in the men's 50-meter freestyle. The Honorable Kamla Persad Bissassa, SC Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, has extended congratulations to Bothwell on this recent achievement. The Prime Minister noted, international success in sport is not determined by our size, but by the intensity of our passions, our convictions, and the willingness to consistently work hard to achieve excellence. She continued, I congratulate George on this latest achievement and for giving us another moment to celebrate. Bothwell's World Championship bronze is yet another tangible reward for his tireless work in his field and his efforts to ensure positive promotion for our nation. Mrs. Persad Bissassa added, I congratulate George on this latest achievement and also congratulate Sports Minister Anil Roberts, who offers his services free of charge and takes whatever free time that is available outside of his busy ministerial schedule to coach and mentor George for these major international competitions. Minister Roberts makes this sacrifice for both love of sport and country. Mrs. Persad Bissassa pointed out that Bothwell's success is just another achievement by the country's sportsmen and women in recent times. She pointed out that just last year, Trinidad and Tobago won its second ever Olympic gold medal when 19-year-old Keyshawn Walcott won the javelin event at the London Olympics. She also pointed out that the Trinidad and Tobago men's T20 cricket team was showcasing this country to the world. In other sporting news, it is still early going in the Blink B-Mobile National Super League, but Guaya United and Club Sando are looking to make it a two-horse race for the league title. Both remained unbeaten after Sunday's matches, but Club Sando's victory was the most significant as it came versus Westside Superstars.
Second place met third as Club Sando took on Westside Superstars on match day 6 of the National Super League. Hello, folks. The Sando men were unbeaten going into the encounter at the St. Anthony's College ground, but were stunned by the team sitting one place below them in the standings with just 7 minutes gone. Karen Cummings opened the scoring for the home team. That lead lasted until the 34th minute. That's when former W Connection standout Camille Rivers grabbed the equalizer for Club Sando with a well-taken shot from a tight angle.
Watch out. Catch it though.
Yeah. 1-1 the score at halftime in West Moorings. The winner would come for the Southerners in the 82nd minute. Another former Connection player doing the honors, Tiba McKnight, bundling the ball over the line to make it 2-1. The win kept Club Sando in second behind Guaya United, who needed an 80th minute strike from Ryan Stewart to defeat the defending champions Wassa FC and keep top spot on goal difference. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
News 4 continues right after the break. The Food Production Ministry is attributing the negative connotations associated with entering the agriculture sector with farming linked to slavery. However, the ministry is looking to change this with the introduction of new community agriculture programs, highlighting this as the focus of the ministry's emancipation celebrations.
The Ministry of Food Production recently held its Emancipation Day 2013 celebrations, which reminded staff of the significance of the holiday and its importance to the people of the nation. Trinidad and Tobago was one of the first nations to abolish slavery over 175 years ago. Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, Joan Hannibal Phillips, told staff that the say held insight into overcoming life's obstacles.
Think of the day as an opportunity for revival, an occasion where each of us renew our convictions to lead purposeful lives and chart a common future. And two, emancipation presents an opportunity to celebrate triumph over oppression.
Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, Myrna Thompson, however, believes that the shortage of persons entering the agriculture sector stems from persons linking slavery to farming.
To this day, to many persons, agriculture is synonymous with slavery. Very few citizens are interested in becoming farmers or providing labor on their farms. This unfortunate situation has weighed heavily on our nations, heavily dependent on imported produce and vulnerable to the international supply of food. Under our current administration, headed by the Honorable Devon Maraj, has recognized that the battle, has recognized that emancipation was just half the battle. And empowerment of our people also plays a crucial role in moving agricultural sector forward.
She called on citizens to use growing crops to empower the nation from food dependency. The Permanent Secretary notes that the ministry has introduced a community shared program to distribute produce generated from nearby nurseries.
Community shared agricultural program. This program will comprise training and infrastructure support for crop production, nursery production, plant propagation, aquaponics, and small ruminants. The produce generated will be distributed in every family in the community group, charities, and extra produce will be sold with proceeds towards the development of the community. This program is designed to ensure communities become empowered and stand on their own. Emancipation, empowerment must go hand in hand, and the Ministry of Food Production is committed to ensuring that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago transform their perception of agriculture and realize the importance of creating a food-secure nation.
Meanwhile, the PS is noting government was in full support of CARICOM's decision to follow up on action on the matter of reparations for native genocide and slavery. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.